Welcome, everybody, back to Sales Unscripted, new podcast. Are we still new? My name is Brian Neal, by the way.
I'm Margaret Henny.
And are we still new?
We're newish. Yeah, I think, actually, that's funny. We were just out there in the lobby, and your friends asked us what episode. And I think we're on either 11 or 12.
We're slowly catching the Advanced Selling Podcast, aren't we? We're on episode 849.
I was like, we're never going to get there.
You know what I just noticed? And it's on our calendar invites when we record that I just love. The initials of our podcast. Sup.
I know.
I love it.
I use it.
We need to get it. Sup.
I use it as one of our hashtags when we post stuff. I'm like, sup.
I love it.
I know, that makes me happy too.
See, I missed that in college. See, I missed the late night text. You know, you up, sup,
yeah,
you up,
totally.
You up, what are you doing?
Well, we didn't get that because it was like T9 or whatever.
Well, we had nothing. We had no cell phones. So what you did instead is you got the Greek directory out. That's the directory of all of the fraternities and sororities, and you'd be 1:30 in the morning, and you go down the list like I'm Alpha Chi, dude. What's up? You awake?
How many wrong numbers did you call?
Oh no, usually not, because you're not that crazy.
Okay,
but you call and drop some messages in. But they were always on
because like a landline.
Answering machines.
Oh yeah,
answering machines. Yeah, cordless phone answering machine. But that's what you do. You'd call.
So funny.
Isn't it so funny?
Did you have like a great voicemail too? Like you and your buddies in a house were like,
oh my God,
this is Brian and Todd.
No. Oh yeah, right. You mean when it goes? Yeah.
You got Brian and Todd. You know what to do.
What's up? Welcome to the jungle. Leave a message. Click. That kind of stupid.
Exactly. Party at the moon tower.
Oh my God. Men's brains stop growing at age 13. They do. I'm just
Is that
being
true?
honest. It just we do. Things are funny to me that are funny to me as a 13-year-old boy, and they still are. And I show them to my friends, and they're equally as funny. And Steph just stares at me. She's like, "You're an idiot." It's just, it's true though. I think it's true. It's partially true.
That's funny. What did you do over the weekend, man? Did you do anything fun?
We had a really good weekend. Yeah, it was really nice.
It was beautiful out in Indy.
Let me see. We tracked around. We kind of drove around on Sunday a bunch. It was really pretty. I played golf with my sons on Saturday.
Nice.
Steph had a beautification day.
Oh, I love that.
Hairs and nails.
That's funny. I saw her nails were done. They're hot pink and they are
it's awesome.
fire.
This is a thing. And I'm a nail guy. Like I like women's nails. That's the thing. And the pointy ones are real popular right now.
Yes, super pointy.
Like
not me.
That's not her jam.
No.
And it's not really my jam. I'm like, but it's so trendy.
It's so trendy.
And then so the nail people try to talk her into that.
No.
So she's like, no.
I don't know how you type, text,
just all the above.
cook,
I don't like the look. I'm like, what am I missing here? Maybe I'm just getting old or something. I don't know.
know.
You know why? Because it looks. Here's why. I know why. No. I'm more of an authentic energy person, and it's completely fake. No one's nails look like that naturally.
Yeah, that's so true. That's
you get
true.
your nails done, they still can look natural.
Yeah.
Just nice or whatever.
See, I don't get them done for one, for practicality. 2, I don't like the look. And 3, I'm always screwing up this. My nails are actually painted right now, but they're nude because if they're like some bright color, I'm chipping them off all the time, and then I just look like a mess.
I know. It's a thing.
Yeah, it's not for me. Well, I went opposite of getting my nails done, I guess, even though.
What'd you do?
I went mushroom hunting.
Oh.
Anyone who's
psychedelic
from,
mushroom hunting? Did you go to Colorado and Oregon?
No, we went to a whole another universe. No. Okay, so in Indiana, it's like mostly Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, Michigan, and then I think like Oregon. There are morel mushrooms.
Morel mushrooms, yep.
Yes, and it's a big thing in Indiana especially. Yep. Everybody goes this time of year. Not everybody, but people go this time of year, and they only grow wild.
Yep.
And so you go foraging for them.
Yes.
You can't cultivate them. Like, I don't know, for whatever reason, they cannot be cultivated.
It's a lot of words right there. Forage and cultivate. You're showing your intelligence. Showing this. I
feel like I'm showing my hillbilly by being like, we went mushroom hunting.
Well, you
did. It was so much fun, and we only found 4. We found 4.
And so people that don't know, in where our neck of the woods where we grew up and live, kind of, we'll live in the city, but this is a very popular thing to do, and it is a chore. Like you go into these woods and you are hunting for the mushrooms. They're not that big.
No.
Like 4 inches maybe.
They're just like sticking up, right? Yeah. I mean, some people will find big ones, but they're not huge. And of course, they blend in with everything. Like right now, the black mushrooms are up, and like they look like walnuts that are on the ground too. So you'll be like, oh, I see one, and then be like, frick, it's another walnut.
Yes. And what do you do with them then, Margaret? So you got 4 of them.
Yes.
So that doesn't really make a meal unless you're on Survivor or what's that show? Naked and Afraid.
Exactly.
You ever watch that show, Naked and Afraid?
Totally.
Oh my God.
Yes.
So you have 4 morel mushrooms. You come home. What do you do with them?
Well, first you soak them in salt water
right.
because they're probably dirty and you might have bugs in them or whatever. So like get all that out, dry them off.
Yep.
And then this is the only way that we cook them. We flour them. So flour, salt, and pepper, shake off the flour, and you fry them in butter on the skillet. And then they are like, I could just like sit down and have a moment right now. They are so amazing. And they are, to me, the epitome of luxury because it is something that you have to work for to get. Yeah. They're super rare and they only come up at a certain time.
Yes.
So like there's such a satisfaction too about finding them and you'll want to eat the ones that you like. I picked that one.
Right, totally.
Give me that one. That's one I picked.
Funny.
So.
Yeah, this is the thing. And, it's not like for you listeners who live in Manhattan and you go to a restaurant in Tribeca and the truffles are, well, we can add truffles to that for $75 and they come out and shave 2 things of truffles on your pasta for $75, which is true, which happens. This is a different kind of delicacy.
It's a different kind of delicacy.
This is just driving your car out, parking next to the woods.
You gotta love being in the woods because there is also the very real possibility that you will not find any.
But huge possibility of that.
Right?
Especially if you've never done it before.
Yeah.
You know what you're looking for.
You could totally come up empty-handed, but.
You like walking in the woods?
I love it.
Oh my gosh, I don't like walking in the woods.
You don't?
Oh gosh.
What?
We've never talked about this?
What?
I am a non-camping dude. I'm not.
Oh
I'm a Ritz.
God.
Oh no, I'm a Ritz Charles. I'm a Ritz Carlton, not Ritz Charles. That's a banquet hall in Indy. Sorry. Now I'm showing my true colors. Yeah. No.
That's so funny.
I'm never camping.
Oh, well, I'm like on camping,
Walking
but like
no,
I love tromping around. And,
my in-laws do. They we go on these family vacations and it's great, but we go in the woods in Indiana. And Indiana in the woods, it's hotter than hell, and you just it's kind of all looks the same-ish. I don't know.
Oh,
and there's bugs and stuff.
You have great conversations.
Oh,
yeah.
You know what you talk about? All I talk about is how quick can we get out of these freaking woods.
Oh my God,
sweating.
Brian.
It's gross.
Stop.
It's awful. I'm telling you. I do not like walking in the woods. Totally. I love walking. Actually, I love walking in Manhattan. I could walk from Central Park all the way down to the end. All the way down.
I've never been to Manhattan. I've never been to New York.
What?
I know.
What?
I know.
You're kidding me. No. You've never been to Manhattan.
No. Theater.
Margaret Henning.
Like theater person. I've traveled all over the world. I've never been to New York
Manhattan?
City.
You've never seen a play on Broadway?
Never.
Oh my God.
I know.
And you travel all over the place.
Everywhere.
By yourself.
Yeah. I've been to like 30 countries.
And you've never been to Manhattan.
I know.
This is unbelievable.
I know, it's weird.
Oh my God. You're going to Spain Thursday.
I am.
And you've never been to Manhattan.
I know.
My feelings are kind of hurt. I'm kind of pissed.
I know. People are like amazed when they hear that. They're
Serious.
Like, what is wrong with you?
I saw Joel Grey in Cabaret.
Oh, that's cool.
Joel Grey.
Man,
he ran Cabaret for 30 years.
That's pretty
You
cool.
just got to, oh my gosh, I can't believe.
All right, okay. Before I offend you anymore, let's get into the topic.
Okay.
I know.
What are we even talking about? Let's talk about getting your ass to Manhattan. I'll pay for it. Good God.
See, this is what I was trying to do. I was trying to rope
You're trying to get a free, so now
got one on the
we got
line.
a double date. So me and you and Derek and Steph will go. Yeah, we got, in fact, we've got a whole routine.
Yeah?
That you'd probably like. Well, it's not walking in the woods.
Oh, well, I'm game.
But it's basically a foodie, drinky, walking tour of Manhattan.
I'm in.
3 days.
Let's do it.
3 days.
Yeah.
It's so great.
Perfect.
Okay. So, yeah.
Okay.
What's our topic?
Our topic, well, so it's a little bit about like kind of generational sales too, like, and sort of like old way of sales, new way of sales, but also just like kind of how people approach it. So I was telling you about this. So one of my very first sales jobs, I won't name who, but I guess you could always look on my LinkedIn and see where I worked. But it was this like very sort of like almost like Wolf of Wall Street feeling type place. And I was like, immediately, I was like, like I can't do this. It was just not for me. And I remember the way, this was like my first sales job. So I already kind of had an idea in my head or thought I did. I was like, oh, sales. I feel so grody. Like, what am I doing? I'm just going to figure it out for a while. And then it made it even worse because I went to this place and people were just like yelling and hollering and talking so mean to people. And and I remember people saying stuff like they would make this joke. They'd be like, I bug people for a living. And like, that was like something that they would like, I don't know, was something that people would just say. And I was like, I cannot feel good about myself doing this. And so I had it in my head that is what sales was.
Yes.
It is not. It does not have to be that way. And in fact, it shouldn't if you're doing it right. But it laid a really weird groundwork for me. It laid the groundwork. It's where it was a freaking foundation. It was a bad foundation is what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying. Cool. So let me ask you this. This is an interesting, this is kind of like the culture. Like, so those of you listening, I know a lot of you are not all of you, a lot of you question if you like this or not. Like, is this my jam? Is this my thing?
Yeah.
Am I feel gross? Do I feel gross? Yeah. Do I like the pressure? Do I not? What am I in this for? What's my end game? Where am I helping the world?
Yes.
All those things kind of go into the deal.
Yep.
And you've chosen a profession that doesn't have letters after the name. So you're not a JD, you're not a CPA, you're right? You're not an MD, you're not a DDS, you're a salesperson. When you tell people that, so you're at a party and like, what do you do? And you say, I'm a software engineer. What do you do? Everyone says what do they say? I'm in sales. I'm in sales.
I'm in sales.
They don't say I do I'm
not a salesperson.
I'm an engineer.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
I'm a aeronautical engineer. I'm a doctor. I'm a lawyer. Most people don't say I'm a salesperson.
That's so
They say
true.
I'm in sales.
Me too.
Isn't it interesting?
Why
Everybody
is
says that. Right.
I do that.
And everybody does it. Right?
Is it because we just like don't want to admit it?
To identify with the persona. Because from an identity standpoint, there is grossness around it. One of my clients uses that, which I threw that out to another client. They're like, I love that. There is. It's gross. And you said it's kind of grotesque. It's like, oh. And then what else happens? So I could have gone into finance, or I could be a systems analyst or an engineer, or I could be all these things. But I went into sales usually because
I didn't mean to. I was doing something else.
I couldn't do anything else. That's the problem. People think you snorted. I love that.
I know. Sorry.
I love it.
Unscripted.
I love snorted, right? Is that people, they don't know, they can't do anything else.
Yeah.
Like, well, I couldn't get a job in marketing. I tried to work for an ad agency. That didn't work out. I went to school for theater, and I thought I was going to go to Broadway. So I needed a job.
Yeah.
It's so common. So sales was the thing. I got into sales because it was the easiest thing to get a job.
I think that's very common though,
Super common.
Yeah.
And because of all that, I think it carries this stigma. Well, you couldn't do anything else. Well, just about anybody can do sales. Well, it's easy. Well,
or like they'll look at you as like the enemy. You're like,
right.
ugh, you're the people that are calling me nonstop, or trying to, I'm trying to avoid you, or all those like very old stereotypes that are still attached to people in sales. You see, I didn't say salespeople. I was people in sales.
But that people in sales, right. I'm a sales professional. I'm an account executive. That sort of thing.
So I guess what all of that, all of that being true, is I needed to find, because there was stuff that I really did like about it.
Yeah.
I loved having these conversations. I love feeling like I was helping people. I love starting conversations and getting to know people. Yeah. But I needed to find where my own identity and integrity in sales. And it took a while to get there.
It's good. Can you say the I word again?
Oh, what do you mean? Integrity?
You just said it.
Oh, integrity.
Yeah. Yeah, we're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Come along, Margaret.
I know. I'm here. I'm here, I swear. On my first cup of coffee.
That's your first one?
It's my first.
That's your first. Okay, good.
Yeah, thank you.
Sure. This is the thing, too, that I love that you said that. Everyone needs, so there's some direct advice to you. You have to find your own authentic self within that role or this profession, professional selling. And everyone will have a slightly different take. What happens too often with selling is we come in and we do, one thing selling does, and we do this for a living, is you get trained. You get trained both in product knowledge and stuff, but you also get trained in methodology.
Yep.
And oftentimes that methodology or that culture doesn't fit the true you.
Yeah, that's
like the place where you worked, right?
Yes.
They're having you say things and do things that did not align with you as a human.
Yeah, and even like they like would tell me, like I would have like a book of business I'm supposed to like renew every month, and I'd be like, what if I found that this is not a great investment for this person? Right. And they would say, that does not matter. Like they would literally tell me it doesn't matter. I still need to sell them. And I was like, I can't do this.
Right.
Like Whoa.
It's gross. It is. It's awful. Yeah. And it doesn't make any sense because then I had this too where I was just my first sales job. And it was funny. I asked you earlier in the kind of pre-show prep because we're unscripted. So we prep a lot. It was like 11 seconds.
No prep.
It was like a bull ride, 8 seconds. When I got a job, so this is in the early 90s, there were no computers. There was no software like Microsoft was getting going, Apple was getting going, but there was no technology, anything like that. So I got a job at Procter & Gamble. Procter & Gamble is one of the premier companies in the country.
Yeah, huge.
Super well respected.
They make everything.
Everything in a grocery store. And I got a job in sales with a company car, which was actually a really, really cool thing to do.
That is pretty cool.
Not because I was in sales, though, but because it was with Procter & Gamble. That's the trick.
Okay.
So my parents were really proud of me, and they loved to tell
you got a company car.
Because what they said was not what I was in. They said where I worked. So the identity was attached to the place.
Yeah.
He got a job at Procter & Gamble. That was all you needed to say. Woo. Right?
Yeah, true.
And then I got there, and guess who was last on the list in functions at P&G within the culture? Sales. Last on the list. Marketing was first. If you were marketing, you were the cool kid, you're the brand manager.
Okay.
You were the one that was like taking credit, driving everything. Sales, necessary evil. I guess we need someone to run around. And then what I did for being a salesperson is I ran around these grocery stores, and I just made sure that all the products were like faced up on the shelf. I was like a stock person.
That's so funny. That is not what I thought you were going to say.
Totally what I did.
Oh, yeah.
And then I would present ideas to the store manager of things to do. But I had no control over that. And I was taught to not take no for an answer.
Whoa.
It was awful. And bugging people.
I just hate that idea. Like I bug people for a living. And I was like, I hated it then, but I didn't know why. Mostly because I was like, ooh, I don't want to do that. But I thought about it later, and like a lot of it, I say this a lot, but it came up in training with like kind of checking your intent. And I was like, their intent is all off.
Totally.
Like, you know what I mean? Like they're not customer focused at all. And that sounds kind of buzzy, but you know what I mean? Like it's just, and when I could put like a fine point on it, why it felt so gross, I was like, yeah, that makes total sense.
It does.
But what do you do when that is the culture of your company?
Yeah.
I mean, like,
that's great. That's the solve for this episode, because there are guaranteed thousands of people listening to our episodes that are in this boat. Thousands of the hundreds of thousands of listeners that we have. Thousands of them are in this place where it doesn't line up. Here's the good news. This is 2022 news. I saw Mark. It's very buzzy, but Mark Cuban said it as well as anybody, in my opinion. I'm paraphrasing what he said. He said, everyone now in the U.S. economy that works is a free agent.
Ooh.
Everyone is a free agent. No longer is the company in control. The workers are in control.
That's true.
Everyone's a free agent.
That's true.
Right? So if there was ever a time when it's a great time to be in a situation where you personally don't line up with your company, now's the time, because you can go find a place that does.
Yeah, that's
easily.
So true.
And so we're not trying to get everyone to quit their jobs.
No,
we are trying to get people to align, because you cannot live that way.
No.
You can't.
Well, burnout is huge. Right? And you just like, I'm really big with being aligned with like the Margaret that I am at home is the same Margaret you get at work. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
And that is important for me.
Yes.
And I always, which is why I also hate Uber professionalism, because that's not me. I mean, I gave a double finger during our promo video, for crying out loud. So, but it's really.
Which finger?
Never mind.
The finger?
I won't do it again.
No.
But anyway, to be that same person, because it takes a whole lot of energy to be someone or something different in those places. And so if you are not feeling aligned, you are going to be drained. You will not be happy. You won't have, you also won't be doing your best work.
No.
And you also won't be giving your best self to the people that matter, which are your family and your friends and your spouse and, all that sort of thing. Because you'll just be trying to re-energize when you get home.
Yes.
So I think it's important to figure out where, if you're not feeling like you've got pride or integrity in your job right now, how to change that.
Yes.
Because one thing that is, I think, really cool about being a salesperson is in some ways you're almost like an individual business owner, like your own little business, right?
For sure.
Since you're in charge of it, right?
Yeah.
So you can make some of your own changes, like listening to the Sales Unscripted podcast. No, I'm
that's part of the deal.
But there are some fundamental changes that you can make. But first, ask yourself that question. You know, right? Like, do I have these things? Do I feel pride in the work that I'm doing? Do I have integrity? If not, let's check that and see where it's coming up.
Yes, and I would have you. I think this is a great writing exercise. If you're listening to this, don't do it while you're driving, obviously. But at some point, it's a great coffee shop exercise. You go and you write these things. You write, aligned, misaligned, or things like that, and just ask yourself: how much am I living? One of our blind zebra core concepts is authenticity.
Yeah.
To your point, you are who you are, and I know Margaret really well. You're always the same.
Yeah.
I'm always the same.
Yep. Yeah.
You just don't see. You caught me playing piano in here.
That was really cool. I came in. He was here by himself because his 8 o'clock didn't come in, and he was just like playing the piano and singing. You have a lovely voice.
I don't have a thank you. I don't. But
you
thank
do.
You. That's nice. I can play piano okay, but singing not my jam.
That was nice.
But thanks for saying that. But you have to find your authentic self in these things. So ask yourself, indicators. My girlfriend at the time, then my wife, now my ex-wife, used to say when I worked at Procter & Gamble, she said, you have a P&G voice.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You've heard me say this, right? I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, no, you like change your voice when you're on work calls. I'm like, no, I don't. Yeah. And I did. And I joked that I sound like a morning DJ when I was on my work calls. For P&G. So the phone ring. I'm like, hey, good morning. This is Brian. How can I help you? Like, huh? Like, I don't talk that way.
I love that your name is Brian, too, because Brian.
Yeah. Hey, Brian.
Hey, it's Brian here.
Hey, Brian Neal, how can I help you? Hey, it's like how aggressive.
I sound like a carnival
you can take the
barker.
Energy completely. It's awful. Not the deal.
So funny.
So so just ask yourself these questions. I think this is a really good introspective and reflective exercise for you to do.
One of the fastest things I think too, like fastest ways to feel better, to get more aligned to, is if you're hearing stuff like that, like people are telling you to sell to someone anyway, or to push someone into something that they don't want, or to, I bug people for a living. Yeah. Just in the morning, check your intent. Be like, why do I do what I do?
Yeah.
And it could be as simple as like, this might sound a little bit lame, but I tend to think that Co-Video is such a wonderful product that helps people do their job better, which means they have more time to do the things that more time and more money to spend with the people that they want and on the things that they want.
Yeah.
And like, that gives me wonderful purpose.
That's really good. It's really good. You can tap into that too.
Yeah.
Sounds like you need to put that on a plaque or a T-shirt or something. I think you should. So I have one last thing on this, because this would be an indicator. Okay. Now, this you might get rubbed on this one because it's kind of marketing stuff. Mm-hmm. So I've noticed, and it's happening now on LinkedIn, like it's so bad, it's driving me nuts. And I'm a huge early LinkedIn adopter.
For
early,
a long time.
lots. I've got 17,000 connections, something like that. I've been in. Is automated, sequenced marketing emails to me. Mm-hmm. And I'm reading these and I'm asking myself, would you really write this way? Mm-hmm. Is this how you would write? Or are you following some inauthentic script and just, blasting out 15,000 of these things?
Yeah.
Like I'm a fan, I know this goes against marketing automation, and I'm a fan of authentic, individualized email prospecting.
Yeah.
So everybody gets, part of it can be a template, but part of it needs to be whatever, I
agree. Well, I think you can strike a balance between those things too, right? Yeah. Like, early up, high in the funnel, numbers matter. You've got to be able to like quantity is important, but at a certain point, let your marketing team take care of the automation,
right?
And try to, their job is to generate leads and, be an evangelist for your brand and all that sort of thing. But your job is relationships.
Yep.
And you cannot fake creating or making a relationship.
Good for saying that. That's what I want you to say.
Oh, good.
I'm glad I didn't want you to say that, but I'm glad you did. I'm hoping
I read your mind.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. I sent that over to you.
Thanks. Got it.
Well, have a great trip to Spain.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll tell you about it when I get back.
I can't wait to hear all about it. There's a drink there that my sister-in-law, she did an overseas study there.
Uh-huh.
You might know this. I can't remember what it's called. It's basically half a glass of red wine, half a glass of Coke.
What?
It is so good.
No,
it sounds so gross.
That sounds so weird.
I did it with Diet Coke too. She's like, do it with Diet Coke. It is phenomenal. You put ice in it.
Come
Literally,
on.
She said it's in Spain. That's what they drink
Spanish
the whole time.
people drink this.
That's what she said. Half a glass of red wine, like ice. It's very refreshing.
I'm going to fact check this.
Half a glass of red wine.
I will
half
drink
a glass
all
of
the
Coke or
wine
Diet
in
Coke.
Spain if I have to. No.
Well, please do. Would you bring
Fact
some
check.
home? Yes. Anyway,
I will.
So check that out. See if that's a real thing. 'Cause I think it is.
Cool.
Okay.
I'll let you know next time. All right.
See ya.
See you guys.
Bye.